All right, YouTube, this is Detroit's HPTV coming at you again with another video. I was done making videos for the day until I seen this video by Pink Book Lessons. Y'all should check out Pink Book Lessons. Pink Book Lessons be having some very, very good news and information. And this was a story she did about one of the victims of Kamala Harris, one of the black women who was terrorized and traumatized and life was destroyed by Kamala Harris. This story is so that you can see the truth about things. You know, it's not about black men being misogynistic because we would have voted for somebody like Condoleezza Rice. You know what I mean? We would have voted for somebody that was genuine, but this lady is a chameleon. And I'm going to prove it to you when you see this story. When you share this video with any of your women friends and go to Pink Book Lessons, or I'm going to put it in the community section. You got to see this. This is one of the saddest and most traumatizing stories I've heard in a long time. So without further ado, I'm going to get off into this story. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons again. And this for fair use in the 1976 Copyright Act for education and commentary, and always stand on the First Amendment.
Smalley, D.L. Hughley, Charlemagne, Kamala's radio defense team, as well as all the shills pushing the What You N-Words Need to Know Kamala Harris post. Yeah, for those who don't know, after she was endorsed by Biden and she started getting backlash, this is how Kamala Harris fought black people. She had her shills put out this post on social media. All of them from Jamel Hill to Charlemagne the God. Now, they don't talk to any other voter black like this, but they thought this was the best way to communicate with black people. And on that post, they released a bunch of disinformation, straight up lies about Kamala to combat the truth. Kamala, she sent out people like Michael Eric Dyson, Steve Harvey, and Ricky Smalley, all to tell lies and run interference, telling us she didn't lock anybody up but criminals that should have been there. Well, meet Miss Peoples. She's one of the many black women and black men prosecuted by Kamala Harris with her truancy laws. Remember, as the California AG, Kamala created this to specifically target black people, mostly black women, and here's one of the true stories of many.
I intend to fight for Black Lives Matters. I intend to fight. If Black Lives matter to her, why didn't I matter?
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
My message to all Americans, especially Black Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
I'm so proud of you right now, because you walked all the way down here and I wasn't expecting you to walk.
My daughter, Shayla, suffers from sickle cell anemia, a chronic, painful genetic disease.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick.
It's a very sharp stabbing pain, and it hurts a whole lot.
Black people make up 90% of sickle cell cases in the U.S. That's 9 out of every 10 cases. And of all black babies born, about 1 in 13 are born with a sickle cell trait, meaning they have inherited a sickle cell gene from one parent. It's absolutely horrible.
It's from my chest all the way down. It hurts, including my side.
So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
When Kamala Harris was the California Attorney General, she had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
Do you hide your smile because of missing teeth? Or are you struggling to enjoy your favorite food? Introducing dental implants, the permanent.
I spend a majority of my time here at the hospital.
Kamala's horrible policies hurt mothers like me and the Black community. My name is Sheree Peoples, and this is my story. I am a single mother. I've worked as a certified nursing assistant.
Now I'm going to say this. This is the black woman that Charlamagne, D.L. Hughley, Ricky Smiley, Roland Martin have been attacking conservative black men and women about in defense of this person. Continue to watch this story.
And a caregiver. My daughter Shayla was born in 2002. When she was born, she was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia, and it affects all major organs in the body and also causes extreme pain. Her whole life, she has been on medications like morphine and Dilaudid to help her control the pain. In addition, she had to undergo blood transfusions every 3 weeks. My lifestyle became taking care of her almost full time. It is pretty typical for kids with Shayla disability to miss a lot of school.
I just got out of school. I've done 3 full days this week. Oh, I'm so tired.
And for years, the teachers were aware of her condition and her absences were all excused. California schools get their state and federal funding based off of average daily attendance. Schools are paid about $30 per student per day.
It's always about money. And back when Kamala was the AG in California, the ADA per student per year was between $9,000 to $10,000. That number is much higher today. Back in 2020, it was $15,000, and now it's over $21,000 per year per student. That's for basic students. Remember, they get way more if they can place a disability on your child. So yeah, they're definitely getting more for physical disabilities, mental disabilities, and learning disabilities. This is why they're also eager to place the ADHD label on kids. So yeah, Kamala lied. She said that she went after parents to stop crime. She was only going after them for money. No different than keeping men in prison past their release dates to save money, have free labor for them to fight fires for the state. It's all about money and exploiting black bodies, just like her Irish slave master ancestors in Jamaica.
What do you think so far? And we just scratching the surface. This is why this lady can't answer a question, and she can't never decide what her ethnicity is based on a job description. But this is a lot so far. Listen to some more of the story.
San Francisco, we threatened the parents of truants with prosecution. I first heard of Kamala Harris when she got elected California Attorney General.
We are putting parents on notice. We are going to make sure that you face the full force and consequences of the law.
She wrote a report saying truancy was costing California schools $1.4 billion a year in funding. Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding.
I want money.
Kamala then wrote a law making it criminal for parents if their kids miss school time. Kamala even wrote a book called Smart on Crime.
You can read an excerpt from the book that she just plugged shamelessly. It's called Smart on Crime.
Talking about arresting parents for truancy.
I sent a letter on my letterhead out to every parent in the public school system.
In 2012, like all California parents, I received a threatening letter from Kamala Harris saying we'll go to jail for a year if our kids even miss 10% of school days. It was like a crazy intimidation tactic.
I'm going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought, wow, this woman doesn't have any empathy. Is it because she's not a mother? I also thought, how could she not understand it would disproportionately affect people of color, single black mothers?
She also didn't care that it would mostly impact black children because she doesn't care about black children. She's not us. She's a red dot Indian who was raised a significant amount of time in Canada, mixed with a daddy born in Jamaica, Irish and Indian. She's a cosplaying, pretending chameleon, an Indian-raised woman trying her best to act like an American black woman by associating herself with the Black Divine Nine and HBCUs, the biggest scammer ever. So no, she didn't care because she never saw herself as one of us in the first place. Now listen closely to what Kamala Harris did to this woman. And I want Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, Michael Eric Dyson, fake Tamika Mallory, Angela Rye. I want y'all to respond to this.
But honestly, I didn't imagine it could affect me. Her teachers had her medical records from the Children's Hospital. I even had a 504 plan, which was an agreement between the school district and the parents to provide care for students with disabilities. It was April 18th, 2013, in the morning. I'm in my pajamas. I had just fed my daughter, gave her her medications, sent her off to school. Little did I know, there was a warrant out for my arrest. All of a sudden, the police is outside my house, and they started banging on the door. I opened up my door, and 2 officers entered my home. They told me I was under arrest for my child missing school. They said I was going to jail. I was shocked. I said, but my baby is sick. The school knows that. And they said,
Now I know y'all following the story, but I want to say this. This probably this lady's only day off. She done sent her kid to school who suffers from sickle cell. Got back into bed, and the police come and arrest her. Think about that. Her sick kid is at school. She's going to jail. Don't even know what's happening.
go talk to Kamala Harris. Place your hands behind your back.
My mom did nothing wrong. We did everything we were supposed to. I was always bringing doctor's notes, always calling the school to let them know that I was in the hospital.
Then they handcuff me. So they take me outside for what you call a perp walk. And oh my God, the TV news was there. The newspapers were there. You could swear I had killed somebody. It was degrading and humiliating. I was taken to the Criminal Justice Center. They took my mugshot. I was fingerprinted like a criminal, and I was terrified.
And it felt like I caused her so much pain because in reality, it is because of me, even though I know it's not directly my fault.
Man, this is horrible. She's blaming herself for what Kamala did to them. No, this was not her fault. She was a disabled child. Kamala knew this and went after them anyway. Why? Because the pretending chameleon was a woman with an agenda and aspirations of being president dating back to 2008. Kamala used them in California to humiliate them for political gain. She targeted and criminalized them, something she won't even do to illegal immigrants. Remember? Kamala said she would decriminalize illegal immigration, but she was out there in California searching for charges to put on Black people. That's your so-called progressive prosecutor. Yeah, they love talking about this fake record that she's so proud of, but they never bring up the thousands of cases like this.
Sorry. The next day, the Orange County Register showed the pictures of my arrest. They even had a close-up picture of my hands in handcuffs to show here's a Black mother being arrested.
It was a truancy rate at over 2.5 times that of white students.
Everyone knew most truant kids were.
Kamala Harris, your black vote is over. All that you better thank a union member. You better thank a union member and y'all and cooking greens in the bathtub and all of that. Any black person that vote for you now is either a traitor, treasonous, or insane themselves. Clearly, you're not like us.
Black. I think Kamala Harris wanted me as an example to threaten other single Black mothers, like this can happen to you if you don't get your kids in class. The police even put out a press release naming me and other Black single mothers like Toya Daniels who got arrested the same day. But my hell was just beginning. They gave me 2 charges: failure to supervise and encourage school attendance, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. I couldn't believe it. They framed my daughter as a gang member and basically charged me with neglect. I spent the next 2 years in court fighting these charges. Kamala assigned her nastiest prosecutors to my case.
My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there, and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
Like 10 different prosecutors. They kept pressuring me to plead guilty and spend a year in jail. But I kept refusing because I did nothing wrong. All the time I had to spend going to court, I was struggling to care for my child. I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted. I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
And I ended up being in the hospital a lot during her trial. And in that hospital stay was when I had my stroke.
Think about it. Her child was already fighting sickle cell. Then they had to fight Kamala for over 2 years, putting them in a position that caused way more stress on both of them, especially the child. More stress placed on her body from Kamala targeting them and trying to send her only caregiver to jail for no real reason. That's how she ended up having a stroke, which ended up causing permanent damage.
I had a stroke about 4 or 5 days ago. And right now I'm doing pretty good. My hand is doing okay, I guess.
In 2015, after 2 years, they finally just gave up and dismissed my case. In 2018, the Supreme Court of California ruled that truancy cannot be punished by incarceration. It was unconstitutional.
You also got to remember that the Supreme Court made her take a black man off death row because they were withholding evidence in a particular case. The Supreme Court made her release prisoners that she was keeping past their first out date to fight fires for free. This is who you going at your cousins and your brothers and you falling out with your friends about? Is this the lady? Black people, American people, what? Is this the lady? This who y'all want us to vote for? Okay, let's watch some more.
The courts finally stopped Kamala Harris' abuses. When I look back, I ask, why did Kamala Harris arrest me? Why was Kamala Harris so insensitive to a black woman with a handicapped child? Well, first, I learned that Kamala Harris has no common experience with black people. She grew up with an Indian mother. I remember she kept saying she was Indian.
To become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
What we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. And I learned she grew up in Canada, not in the United States, and went to a wealthy high school. I think in Canada, she must not have been exposed to American values, which respects the rights of individuals. When Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019, they asked her about arresting people like me, and she just lied her ass off.
The truancy program got a lot of criticism too. Did you actually lock anybody up?
No, we never locked anybody up.
Look, right there on the Breakfast Club, lying to millions of black people.
I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to put the rest of the video in the community section of the channel. Shout out to Pink Book Lessons again. I just wanted, because it's almost over, so I want to give my end commentary. This is the lady. You better thank a union member in Detroit. Don't nobody talk like that in Detroit. She's trying to make like we some country bunkers up here or something. You better thank a union member. What? Her. Look what she did out in California, where she was the DA, where she was running things, her claim to fame, as a soror, as an AKA. This is who you want to vote for. Okay. This is Detroit's HPTV, coming to you out of Detroit. Because I'm ending on that note. Support the nonprofit Detroit's Black Thought and Act Collective. Cash App is in the description. Because I got to stop on that note. I can't believe that y'all unfriending people and falling out with people about this Indian lady that can't stand y'all. Peace. Salute to our patrons. Like, share, and subscribe.